Hey, how's it going? Oh, wow, it's hard to believe this is it for Deathgate, the finale of what we've been working for the past weekish or so. I was getting a couple things done. Sorry, I forgot to start, but we'll watch the intro one more time with a little bit of context now, given what we found out at the I forgot the Water World's name. Oh my gosh. Anyways, what we found out from Sama.
You all know why we've come here. The patrons have pushed us into a corner. Their magic has grown too powerful to hold in check. These villains are stealing the worship of our own followers. We must do something before they marshal their forces, before they destroy us and all we stand for. We've come to the Vortex to destroy the world.
So, sounds a little sinister. A little more sinister than he explained out.
Life will be better after the sundering. Our followers will live on in the new worlds of air, fire, stone, and water. Our enemies will be trapped in the Labyrinth to contemplate their dark ways. And we will guide the new order into the future. Help me, my friends. Let us summon the world's seal and begin the process of healing. Ties together all of Earth's elements. As we sunder it, so do we sunder the world. Thus we begin a new age.
So now with a little more context of what's happened and what they meant to do and where we've come, comes a little bit more understanding. So it's time to go back through that gate on which we started this whole adventure. It is now open. As a brief recap, though, we went through the last bit of the Abarak, the stone world, and then, oops, let me just, dang it, doesn't have the name of the water world there. But yeah, anyways, we had to, our dog helped us find an illusion, behind which was a dark wizard's robe and spell book that said, hey, you know that necromancy spell you've been using to help, maintain the economy and all that sort of stuff? It's super bad. It kills someone every time you use it. So by the Sartan using the necromancy spell, they basically killed the other Sartan in the other worlds. So, but then after that, we did a little bit of puzzling with the dead dwarf. Got him to lead us through a labyrinth, and not this labyrinth, but another one. And restored the Colossus, which is going to keep Abarak alive a little bit longer. And then we went to the water world and got killed, but we transferred our soul into our pupper, and our pupper saved us. So yeah, yay puppers! But then we basically found the cause of this whole evil situation, saying Drax, and he has manipulated our Master Czar into opening the gates to the labyrinth over there and basically reforming the world. So there's two kind of things that are happening. There's reforming the world, which makes it the same as it used to be, which will, for some reason, I'm not familiar why, but will basically kill a lot of people if you reform the world. What needs to happen is the interconnection, which is what Sama, the head guy that we just listened to destroying the world, basically bringing all the planets, the different worlds together in a way that is harmonious and not destructive in nature. So basically we can either reform the world and make it come together in a big, or we can kind of make them meld like this. Interconnection, reformation. We want to interconnect. Anyways, so that's our little recap, the last recap of this series, because we're going to end it here. Probably, 90% likely, unless I get really, really stuck. All right, let's go. This gate is the final portal of the labyrinth. Just beyond is the hell you called home for most of your life. Just looking at the gate gives you chills. The labyrinth beyond calls to you, inviting you back to its warm embrace. Cold embrace! All it wants is one more shot at taking your life. Just one more. I promise it'll be the last time I try to kill you. Because it was. That's what the labyrinth thinks. Alright, let's go. A stone-spired tower above a field of writhing vines. You see a dark, twisted forest across the field. Squirming, writhing vines cover the distance between here and the forest. There's no way to get there without trudging through the sea of choke vines. You recall when you escaped the labyrinth. The choke vines weren't much of a problem then. It was winter and the season drove the vines into a type of hibernation. They couldn't move in the cold. Now that the weather is warmer, they thrive and force you to deal with them in order to cross. It'll be fine. Let's go ahead and go. You take a cautious step into the field, but the choke vines immediately begin to creep towards you. You leap back before they can grab hold of your leg. Okay, maybe not. Well, good thing we got our beginner spells here. Heat and cold. The cold spell floats over the sea of twisting vines. It expands and drops over the field like a blanket. As it does, you see frost form. The vines begin to move more and more slowly until they are torpid, completely still. Let's go. Back over the field of choke vines you've recently crossed, you see the last gate of the labyrinth, once a very welcome sight. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, alright. You stumble out of the brush only to come face to face with 3 wounded tiger creatures. Unfortunately, what you know of the labyrinth tells you that the only thing more dangerous than a tiger creature is a wounded one. They stare at you in surprise, then let out a growl intense to leap. You don't have time to do much but run. Let's run this way. The tiger creature's following you in a fury of teeth and claws. At that moment, everything in the world is sharp and covered with blood. You discover that without an effective plan, a lone patron simply cannot defend against these monsters. Alright, let's try to run the other way. Oh. Nope. Okay, let's run the other way. Alright, back over the field of choke vines you've recently crossed, you see the last gate of the labyrinth, once a very welcome sight. You hear the tigermen crashing through the underbrush behind you. They're close on your trail. Oh no! The tiger creatures hesitate when they come to the field, but after observing your safe crossing, they charge in after you. When you pause to look back, they're already about halfway across. Now that they see you, they start sprinting. You don't think you can run any farther without them overtaking you. Well, let's use our beginning spells. Reverse time. Heat those suckers up. The frost disappears as the heat spell takes hold. At first, the plants move sluggishly, but as the torpidity subsides, they resume their normal activity, which is to choke some fools out. The tiger creatures are caught in the middle of the field when the vines reawaken. The plants wrap around their struggling prey and drag them off to separate spires. With wild eyes, the tiger creatures watch lightning strike a spire only a few hundred yards to the west. It then strikes the next closest spire and proceeds to work its way down the line. Soon, the lightning blasts the 2 closest spires. The stench of cooking tiger meat reaches you even here. Well, that's them. Then we will proceed to redo the cold. Boop and boop. This clearing is a well-used campsite. A dark cave opens into a nearby hillside. The fire pit looks well-used. The tiger creatures have camped here for some time. You wonder how this has affected the nearby village. Well, sure. We'll stick with that. Alright. Let's go ahead and take the skull. Yeah. It's definitely the skull of a tiger man. These beasts are frightening enough to confront face to face, but having to stare at one of their skulls is a distinctly unpleasant experience. The skull's sharp fangs, but a small brain pan, which isn't all that surprising. Can we talk to it?
Alas, poor tiger, I knew you not. But then again, if I did, I probably would have wanted to kill you too.
Alright, so we have the trees. Can we climb them? The trees seem to be nothing but points and edges. Getting a decent handle would be almost impossible. Let's try to go into the cave. This is the tiger creature's burial cave. Paintings on the wall depict their gods, and bones are strewn on the floor. Well, let's take this bone. Oh, hey. What does this look like? A bowed bone of a tiger man's upper leg? It's been a long, long time, but we got an arrow. Now all we need is some string, and oh my goodness, we have a good old-fashioned weapon. Better than our shear anyways. Half-buried bones stick up from the ground. They're obviously remains of the tigermen. It appears that they are just sophisticated enough to bury their dead. It must have been a tough decision for them. Respect their fallen comrades, or lunchtime, ding ding. The crude cave painting depicts dark god of the tiger creatures, presumably death, chasing after its tiny feline followers and shooting bolts of lightning. It's clothed in a black robe which shows only a skull-like head. It's an interesting insight into the tiger man religion. And more stalagmites, blah blah blah. Okay, well, with that, I wonder what I should do. Well, let's go ahead and put this sucker on. Let's go ahead and put the skull on. Do I have anything I can put it on? Oh, wait. There we go. Yep. Yep. This is going to be fun. And we heard about the lightning thing, right? Alright, so let's go ahead. I forgot about this part. Gotta go back here. Gotta throw the zinger there. Oh, whoops, sorry. Gotta heat him up. Then throw the zinger. You hurl the zinger into the mass of twisting vines. They snatch it out of the air and carry it off to the nearest spire. Predictably, lightning strikes the spire, but instead of destroying the Sartine artifact, the energy is totally absorbed by the zinger. It charges itself with the power of the lightning. Alright, sweet. So let's go ahead and cool them down now and then take it back. Those choke vines must be getting tired of this nonsense. Like, come on! Stop that. Alright, let's go ahead and take it. Yep, there we go. That definitely looks like some death right there. Alright. You stand on the outskirts of a village in the throes of battle. A pack of tigermen circle a group of patrons huddled under a magic shield. Well, let's get this sucker going. Pull the switch attached to the electric zinger. The contraption flies out of your hands, twisting and turning in the air, accompanied by a screeching metallic whine. The black robe flops back and forth and lightning flies from the eyes of the mounted skull. All the combatants stare up at the apparition. The tiger creatures point and hiss at the flying sideshow, then scatter in random directions, pure terror in their eyes. When Zinger's power drains, it drops out of sight somewhere in the forest. Bye-bye, Zinger. It's been fun having you since, like, the first world. The shield around the huddled villagers finally falls. Methodically, they begin to scatter through the village, locating and tending to the wounded. One man, seriously injured, lies in front of you. The headman of the village, who valiantly supported the magic shield for so long, approaches the wounded man and summons a healer. A nervous, young-looking woman rushes over, nearly dropping her package of healing herbs and implants. She surveys the horrible wounds sustained by the fallen patron and gasps, but a stern look from the headman prods her into her routine. She tries to clean and dress the wounds, but they're too severe. You can tell she's inexperienced and that this case is too much for her.
I never expected you to return. I should kill you for what you've done. If you hadn't driven those tiger creatures off, I would kill you. Why you did that after you led them here in the first place is beyond me. Leave me now. You've done enough damage.
What do you mean? So one thing that part of the recap I forgot to mention, Sangtrax turned into a dark apparition of us. So that's how he was able to fool Zar into basically going back through the labyrinth.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it doesn't matter. Can I help you with your wounded?
We have a healer. Even if we didn't, I wouldn't let you anywhere near our wounded. Who knows what macabre designs you have on them?
What are you talking about? I didn't leave the creatures here.
Of course you did. Not more than 2 hours ago, you and Lord Zar passed through this village. Unwittingly, we helped you. We gave you current directions towards the center because for some reason that's where you wanted to go. You were very pleasant then. You thanked us and went on your way. Shortly thereafter, you returned alone, leading a charge of the tiger creatures. During the battle, you disappeared. I don't know why I don't gut you right now. We lost more men in the skirmish than we have in a month of fighting. Now this encampment is compromised. We'll have to move as soon as we're able, and we have you to thank for it.
That wasn't me. Lord Zar is accompanied by a shape-shifting dragon. I'm on their trail.
A shape-shifting dragon? That's a new one. I wouldn't put it past the Labyrinth, though. It's getting more and more devious every day. If this dragon accompanies Lord Zar, then as long as he doesn't realize the true nature of his companion, he is in mortal danger. My resources are meager, but I am willing to help you as I can. What would you have of me?
Here's something that gets me, though. Whenever I first played, like, okay, I know the heat and cold spell, but we're so close to the exit. Why didn't you try to go? Just cold and then walk. Lead the party off.
Can you tell me where Lord Zar and the dragon went when they left here?
Certainly. They entered the forest to the north, but that information won't help you much. The labyrinth reinvents itself all the time. Paths that Zar and the dragon followed could have vanished, could even be pits or swamps. Only a skilled tracker could find them now.
If only I had Pupper. That was...
Tell me how the dragon got the tiger creatures to attack.
It wasn't difficult. Remaining hidden from the dangers of the labyrinth is a daily struggle. The pack of tiger creatures moved into the area not long ago. He paid them a visit, then came straight here. The entire pride followed, snarling for blood. The creatures were delighted to discover the village. They pounced and caught us completely by surprise. Many died in the first few moments. The rest rallied here in the center. We managed to shield ourselves until you arrived. I'm glad you came when you did. I don't know how much longer the magic would have lasted.
What dangers can I expect further along in the labyrinth?
I've never traveled backward through the labyrinth. Our goal is to leave here. Even so, though every step toward the final gate presents a challenge, I doubt that the labyrinth would prevent someone from penetrating deeper into it. It's akin to walking toward the center of a spider's web. When you finally arrive, you'll have a devil of a time getting back out. You'd be doing the Labyrinth's job for it. Any obstacles you encounter are not likely to have been placed there by the Labyrinth. More likely, you will find traps set by the dragon. It seems to me that the attack of the tiger creatures was such a trap. Obviously, the dragon didn't care whether we defeated them or not. If we managed to defeat them, we would kill you on sight for loosing them upon us. If we didn't, the whole area would be swarming with them. Either way, it would have been rough going for you.
Is there such a tracker in the village?
Yes, we do have such a man, but he was on guard duty when the beasts attacked. He fought valiantly, but the pack was too large and he took the brunt of the charge. He was eventually overcome. He is alive, but I fear that his wounds will prove fatal. The healer is with him now, but I don't have much hope.
Never mind that. You have to tend to your wounded. In fact, is there anything I can do to help?
Regretfully, no, unless you are more skilled than our current healer. Most of our people are either not seriously harmed or very seriously dead. Only the man on the ground here is in critical condition. Our healer works on him now, but I think she is helpless to do anything. He is fading fast.
Let me think on this. If I come up with anything, I'll ask.
Very well. I must instruct the survivors to begin packing up the village. We can't remain here for long. The scent of so much blood on the wind will draw predators from all parts of the labyrinth. If you think of anything, simply ask.
Alright, gotcha. Well, again, one more step closer. We're not breaking yet. You wander off into the trees. The forest has changed since your last year. The labyrinth reinvents itself regularly to make it harder for its residents to stay alive. The new paths and landmarks cause you to lose Zara's trail. Eventually, you find yourself back at the village where you started. Well, I guess we'll have to get this tracker up and running. Good thing we have this salve that we got from, I think it was Brian? Because of the severity of the man's wounds, you end up emptying the crock of healing salve over his chest. You can see the gashes close up in the space of a few heartbeats. The healer gasps, but the headman nods. He looks at you with newfound respect. The healer is shocked, but she doesn't let this amazing development slow her down. Quickly, she packs away all of her tools and moves on to help other injured villagers. In her haste, she drops a cord, presumably to stitch wounds. The headman standing is on to directly help you patrons in packing up the village. It appears that he plans to quit this site soon. Yoink! And boink, boink, finally got a bow. Finally can use that arrow we got from Brian. Alright, well.
Yes, my friend. How can I help you?
Let me think.
Very well.
I guess we're gonna just talk to the tracker.
You healed me, brought me back from the brink of death. I am indebted to you.
I hear you're a pretty good tracker.
I know the labyrinth. I know its signs. I can sense how it changes, sometimes even how it will change. If I find the start of a trail, I will never lose my way.
Now so you can see kind of the hard room that the patrons have right there.
Do you think you could help me?
Of course. I'm in your debt. Tell me what I must do to absolve myself of it.
I'm on the trail of Lord Zar and his companion, who happens to be a shape-shifting dragon. Do you think you can find them?
Of course. That's what I do. I will accompany you while I track them. When I'm certain that we've found them, my obligation to you is resolved. I must return to my village.
Hey, another party member. For a minute. Alright. Simple shelters are the sewn together hides of various animals. You recognize some, but others come from beasts the labyrinth must have spawned since you left. The huts are lightweight and portable, matching the nomadic nature of the patrons. Can we go in any of them? Probably not. Yep. Nope. Alright, let's skedaddle. Traveling at a pace you have trouble matching and discovering small clues you would never have found, the tracker leads you through the dark wood. Eventually you come upon a huge cave. A monster, which resembles a huge insect, though much more formidable, stands guard outside.
The trail leads here into that cave. I've seen this cave before. There is no exit. Your quarry lies inside. The creature guarding the entrance is a Sheodan. I've only encountered their like once or twice before, and I can tell you this. If you spill its blood, every drop will grow into a duplicate of the monster. Only by killing it before it bleeds, usually with a precise thrust through its heart, can you keep it from regenerating. A sloppy attack, and you'll have an army of these things to contend with. Usually the best way to deal with this type of beast is to avoid it. I don't think you've got that luxury, though. If you're going into that cave, you'll have to go through the Sheodan.
Oh boy, that'll be fun.
My obligation to you is over. I've led you to the end of the trail. The people of my village need my help, so I must return. Good luck.
The tracker bolts into the wood. Between one moment and the next, you lost all trace of him. You're now alone, save for the delightful company of the Sheodan, of course. Hello. Oh. It looks like our stone is glowing. We're getting closer. Alright, well, let's see. The Sheodan is another monstrosity cooked up by the twisted imagination of the Labyrinth. It resembles an enormous insect. It is undoubtedly very dangerous. Well, let's see. We've done this many times before, but come on, shear. It's 0 out of 6 so far. Can it be 1 out of 7? With abandon and little else, including good sense, you'd leap to attack the Sheodan with the rusty garden shear. The element of surprise gives you time for one clean swipe. You manage to slice off one of the monster's pincers. The Sheodan screeches and fountains a green ichor-like blood from the wound. As each drop strikes the ground, a new Sheodan magically forms, each with blood less than its compound eyes. Soon you're surrounded by an army of giant insects, and even a rusty shear can't fend them off. Well, it's a good thing we got this bow set up. I believe it's the bow, anyways. Shoot the arrow at the Sheodan. With amazing accuracy, far more than you would have expected from such a primitive bow, I am gonna blow him away with this arrow, though. You loose the arrow at the monster. The arrow penetrates straight through its heart, and the beast falls dead before a drop of its blood can fall. Unfortunately, the arrow has buried itself so deeply into the creature, it cannot be retrieved. One-shot kill, baby. There's a little bit of blood. Let's go ahead and move forward. You walk towards the cave, but a familiar wave of fear washes over you. The leaden weight of terror pulls you to your knees. You can't force yourself to enter the opening. Well, good thing we have this. Stalagmites and stalactites with knife-sharp edges stifle the cave. In the midst of them, Sanctrax waits patiently for you. Hello. We'll go ahead and save one more time. And is it going to be 1 out of 8?
I've been expecting you, patron. I knew that the obstacles I placed would do no more than delay you, but they gave me enough time to find the portal to the vortex. Zar is there now, waiting for me. As soon as I take care of you, I'll return to complete my task.
You lash out at the dragon with your trusty, rusty shear. It's trusty, all right, but it's more rusty than trusty, I think. Doesn't bother to defend himself, but the wind from his laughter blows you back all the same. One more time.
I can't imagine why you've persisted in following me. After I spared your life, you should have cowered in the nearest corner, praying that you would never see me again. Instead, you continue to race towards your doom. Well, it would be rude to disappoint you. I sense that you have nulled your magic power. An unwise move, patron. You are helpless against me. Prepare yourself. This time, you have no dog to save your soul.
Oh no, whatever will we do? Let's crush. You press on the stone and it collapses in the palm of your hand like a wad of paper. The green glow explodes around you, blinding you. With the spinning colors fade, you see that somehow the stone has summoned Zifnab, a mounted atop his dragon. You're so stunned by the sight of you drop the bottle you carry to the cave floor, where it shatters. Game's way of saying, you're done with this. Sangdrak hisses with anger and disbelief. His fury takes control, and lightning quick, he lashes out at the pair. He tries to bury his fangs into the neck of the new dragon, to inject his deadly venom into its body. But Zifnab's dragon is too fast. He breaks a claw across Sangdrax's face and forces him back into the cave wall. The impact shakes the cave and stuns Sangdrax. The good dragon takes the opportunity to place Zifnab out of harm's way, but Sangdrax springs up and pounces while the other dragon's back is turned. His back claws rip through the thin membrane covering the good dragon's wings. When the good dragon finally forces Sangdrax away, he's left with strips of loose flesh hanging from the bones that once supported his glorious wings. He retreats from Sangdrax, dragging his wings and leaving a trail of blood behind him. Sangdrax laughs and positions himself for the death blow. Sangdrax sleeps, but Zifnab's dragon dives beneath the attack, less wounded than he appeared to be. He sinks his teeth into Sangdrax's exposed underbelly and tears a sizable chunk of flesh from its chest. Sangdrax screams and races away from the fight, towards the back of the cave. He sinks into the darkness until all you see are the two red, glowing eyes.
You haven't beaten me. When I've led Zar to the vortex, he'll reform the world and this place will be no more. I don't think you'll survive. But if somehow you do, we'll meet again, and then I'll have my revenge.
The red eyes wink out, and Sangdrax is gone. Oh no, Dragon Buddy. The dragon's beauty is marred by horrible red wounds along his back. His eyes are half-lidded, not in sleep this time, but in pain. Yeah, still not talkative. Unfortunately, we used all that healing salve on the tracker to get here, so... Dragons regenerate, right? I mean, it's green like a troll, so... maybe...
And I was just getting into the shower. You call it the most inopportune times, Haplo. You've a knack for getting into trouble, my boy, and this is a doozy. My. Face to face with the embodiment of evil. You've had a full day. And look what happened to my dragon. I'm afraid this is going to have to come out of your security deposit.
Come on, everyone's getting their deposits and rents away for the next few months.
That's all the rock did? Summon you here?
What did you expect it to do? Wasn't that enough? I think that I did a mite better than you would have in this fight. Well, I did have a little help. Nonetheless, we saved your bacon, and I think we deserve a little gratitude.
My thanks, Zifnab. I appreciate your help.
Of course you do. It's always nice to have the side of good rescue you from certain death. Every time it happens to me, I get goosebumps. There's nothing better, I tell you, except maybe a really good pastrami sandwich with extra mayo.
Sure.
I could have taken that dragon.
Well, you may get your chance. Remember, Sangdrax is still on the loose, and my dragon doesn't look like he'd survive another direct confrontation. It may be up to you after all. I'm glad you have so much confidence. I'd be willing to take odds if you'd like to wager on your success. I'll give you, well, let's see, 300 to 1. Sound fair?
Why did you let Sangdrax escape?
I didn't see you there slugging it out with Sangdrax. I think my dragon did an admirable job in driving him off. Sangdrax is weak and desperate. He'll be much more likely to make a mistake now.
Where did the evil dragon go?
He slipped out the portal. You see, thousands of years ago, Sama hid the magic portal to the vortex in the Labyrinth, here in this cave to be exact. He figured that it would be the safest place to do so. No one would come back into the labyrinth to find it. The portal leads directly to the outskirts of the vortex. We must assume that Sangdrax has already escorted Zar there. In fact, they'll probably go directly to the floating island. Very soon, Zar will begin the reformation unless we stop him.
Is your dragon all right?
He doesn't look good. Sangdrax did quite a job on his wings. He got his comeuppance, though. Did you see those wounds on his face and chest? Those will smart for a few hundred years, mark my words. He won't even be able to change form to heal them. When you get wounds like that, they stay for dinner.
What do we do now?
Well, that's simple. We go after him. We have to stop him before he leads Tsar to the center of the vortex. They have all of the seal pieces which you were so kind as to supply, so nothing stands in the way of the Reformation. Whenever you're ready, I'll take us through the portal to the vortex.
All right, I'm ready to go. Take us through, Zifnab.
Very well. Climb up on my dragon and I'll take us all through. My dragon is wounded, Mr. Insensitive. Why don't you get rid of some of that heavy junk that you've been toting around? It'll make the trip that much easier for him.
With a shrug, you go through your belongings and toss aside everything that the game says is no longer useful. After you're done, Zifnab doesn't say anything more about it, so you guess that you've offloaded enough stuff that the game says is no longer useful. You and Zifnab mount the wounded dragon. Zifnab traces a complex spell which grows into a glowing hoop in space, large enough even to accommodate the dragon. Painfully, the dragon steps through, and a thunderclap later, you arrive at the edge of the vortex. The sledge looks over the swirling vortex. Somewhere in the midst, an island floats above the center. Familiar looking, yes? And obviously pointing, you look a little bit paler than before, friend.
An impressive sight, don't you think? Hasn't changed a whit since the old days. Actually, after the initial shock of being in another reality wears off, it's kind of boring. There's that horizon that goes on forever and the sinkhole, that's pretty much it. No continents, no convenience stores, nothing.
You were here before? Does that mean you were on the original council?
I never said that. I think Sama sent me a picture postcard that said, "My esteemed leader went to the vortex and all I got was this lousy postcard." The picture was really nice, though. It really did this place justice. It must have had, 256 colors.
Whoa, 256, we're getting into the hundreds there.
Where are Tsar and Sangdrax?
Isn't it obvious? They're on the island floating over the sinkhole. Even now, they are preparing for the Reformation. It shouldn't be long until they start the process.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's follow them.
It's not that simple. They had all of the seal pieces, so they were able to use the magic platform. That's how the council members transported themselves over in the first place. The world seal, or in this case all of the pieces, are set upon the platform. It automatically takes anyone standing there over to the island. Since we don't have the seal pieces, we can't follow them.
That's just insensitive, Apple, but...
Why can't your dragon just fly us there?
Look at him! His wings were shredded in the fight with Sangdrax. He wouldn't even be able to lift off. No, my dragon isn't a way to the island.
What about those stone things that kind of look like paths? They reach almost all the way to the island. Can we follow them?
Very good, Haplo. You're very quick. Those stone things are indeed known as the paths. We Sartan introduced the island to the vortex. When we did so, we flawed the perfect magic that existed here. The reaction rippled through the reality. Other flaws began to appear. They manifested themselves as the paths. The paths are made of wild magic, chaotic magic. They are unpredictable. They are even dangerous, but they are the only way to the island left to us. You can use them, but you must be aware of a few things. First, you must travel alone. I cannot go with you. Never has a journey succeeded when there was more than one participant. Second, the wild magic may manifest in other strange ways while you walk the paths. I can't tell you what you might experience. It's different for every traveler. Simply beware and be careful.
What will I do if I get to the island? I don't have a magic stone to defeat Sangdrax anymore.
You want me to tell you everything? Maybe you should try thinking on your feet. Well, My guess is that Sangdrax has probably taken your form to lead Zar through the Reformation. If you catch up with him, you'll have to convince Zar that you're really you. Then you'll have to convince him not to go through with the Reformation.
Listen, charisma isn't my high stat, actually. Any other way to do it?
As for Sangdrax, well, he probably won't like you interfering, so he might try to kill you. Don't let that stop you, though. Get in there, Slugger. The whole team's behind you. Way behind you.
I'd better get to work. Time is running out.
That's true. You'd better get going. I wish I had some popcorn. This is gonna be some show.
Alrighty then. Off we go. Does the game say anything about him now? A curious character, this Zifnab. He is undoubtedly a sergeant, but doesn't behave like any you expected. Most of the time he seems confused how to sync with reality. However, you begin to sense that this may be an act put on, perhaps, for your benefit, to cover what he really knows. He wears a worn robe and a beat-up hat that has seen many years of abuse. He also sports a flowing white beard. Alright, thanks, Zifnab. Let's get going. You're on one of the magic paths. A stone arc looms ahead. Beyond it stands someone who looks exactly like you. The other Haplo simply repeats everything you say at the same time you say it. Actually, it's pretty annoying. Alrighty, well, nice to know you, buddy, but we're going through one way or another. Let's just swap. You trace the rune structure into the air. As soon as you complete it, the spell races towards your double, but stops and dissolves as it passes through the arch. Something about the arch keeps the magic from reaching him. You cannot directly cast a spell on your double. Your double traces the same spell in the air, but reversed like a mirror. The spell he tries to cast isn't real, so it doesn't work. Well, someone, I don't know if Will's in the chat, but he mentioned, why would we ever use that self-immolation spell? Well, it's not that we're gonna use it, but we need to see. Okay, so we need to. Wait a second. You decide against casting spell. Your double considers casting spell, but also decides against it. Alright. So. Let's see. It's hard for me to remember what rune to do, so I'm gonna do. Let's see. We got that one. We got that one. We have. Where's the V? That one. And then where's the other one? So that's those two. I think it's this one. Yeah. Let's undo. Boop. And then what's the other one again? Oh my goodness, I forget everything. Okay, what was it? Oh, that was the top one. Okay, I got it now. I promise. Okay, so we have that, then that, then that. That is a nonsensical spell to us, but you cast a nonsense spell into the air. Of course, the spell does nothing, but your double casts the spell's mirror image. This does happen to be a real spell. In fact, the spell that he casts is self-immolation. It dives into his body and it burns into ashes. His clothes and possessions fall to the ground. That shear means you double sit inside a pile of clothes and possessions. Talk to yourself, literally, since the other you isn't talking back. You search through your double's remains and discover duplicates of everything that you carry. Well, kit of this. You knock out the connecting bolt from one of the blades and slap them both together. The result is a complete set of garden shears. Finally, we've upgraded that trusty garden shear to garden shears. Alright, grayish green slimy tentacles. I don't know why stylish came up. Snake out from somewhere below the path. They twitch and reach out for you. Well, not today. Cut. Cut. Okay. Let's see. So we can't do that. Is it an illusion? Okay, you cast a spell on a tentacle, but evidently there was no illusion there. Either that or it was more clever than you. Okay, alright. Let's, how do you feel about some coldness? Sorry, that only works on one kind of writhing tentacles. Boy, there sure seem to be a lot of them around here. Well, a tentacle whips out from under the path as I try to move forward, wraps around your leg and tugs at it. You feel you might be able to pull away, but if you move forward, you'll enter a whole nest of it. Well, no thank you. With a quick snip, you cut the tentacle away, but another whips out to wrap around you. Not today, sucker. With a quick snip, another one. With a quick snip, again, you cut the tentacle away. That ichor-covered stump draws back onto the path along with the remainder of the tentacles. The creature has evidently had enough, and we're getting ever so closer. The shears finally did it. It was only 1 out of 8 attacks that finally worked. The floating island is suspended over the center of the vortex. A circular platform in the center has 4 spires along its perimeter. You come upon Lord Zar standing in the center of the island. He holds all the seal pieces in his hands and is closely examining the focus. Off to one side, you see Sangdrax in your form, watching patiently. On your arrival, Zar's head snaps up and he regards you in shock and surprise.
What are you, some kind of phantasm born of the vortex? I can feel the wild magic around us. Are you part of that?
I am no phantasm. I am the true Haplo. Your companion is a dragon who has taken my form to trick you into destroying the world. He has tried his best to keep me from following you here, but here I am. You must stop what you are doing, my lord. The Reformation will not be what you expect. Many will die, including our own race. My lord, it's obvious that this is some trick, some manifestation of the Vortex's wild magic. Why it spouts lies to stop you from claiming your rightful heritage, I don't know. But don't spare it a thought. Continue with the ritual, and I will deal with my double.
Sangdrax's eyes flash red as he turns to you with a grin that shows razor-sharp teeth. The scar left by Zifnab's dragon on his face only makes him more menacing.
What you say makes sense, my son, but something about this doesn't ring true. Can you prove your words? Are you the real Haplo? Or is this, as my companion claims, just a hollow trick?
It's no trick. I can prove I'm Haplo. Remember our conversation about heart runes? They name us. They give us our magic. They are the center of our beings. If they are torn or broken, we fall ill. We cannot function. I show you mine, unbroken. I challenge my double to do the same.
I'm not really going to do that. That's okay. I like this shirt.
Of course I can show you my heart rune. And why not? After I've done so, I'll eliminate this annoyance so that you can complete the Reformation undisturbed, Lord Zar. I live only to serve you.
With the promise of death in his eyes, he opens his shirt. Only when he has done so does he realize his mistake. The wound taken from Zifnab's dragon slashes across his chest, straight through his heart rune. Not only is the rune broken, but much of it is missing.
So much for subterfuge. I prefer to be direct anyway. My lord, you will complete the reformation. If you do not, I will kill you. It's your choice.
Yay, Czar's on the winning side now.
Very well, Dragon. I will continue the Reformation, but only because it suits my purposes as well.
Okay, maybe not.
Excellent. Get on with it then.
Czar takes a moment to ponder his options and carries the fire seal piece to its spire counterpart. Quickly, he slides the piece onto the monolith's face. That very second, the entire island, outside the protective circles where you stand, erupts in flames. A storm of fire swirls and batters the ground. Sangdrax, caught in a sudden maelstrom, screams in agony. You quickly lose sight of him behind the curtain of flame.
That should take care of our friend, eh? Tell me what's happening here, Haplo. Quickly, if you don't mind. It seems that I have been misinformed. The Reformation is not what I wished it to be. I must change my plans.
I'm winning team. Okay, cool. As you explained everything to your lord and skipping nothing, but telling your story as swiftly as possible. That's probably a good 10 minutes right there.
We will bring about the interconnection. The worlds cannot survive without it. But the Sartan's strength is severely depleted. It is as nothing compared to ours. After we have connected the realms, we shall invade them, wipe them clean of the Sartan influence, and take our rightful place as rulers.
I mean, interconnect, not reform.
Attend me, my son. I've placed the focus over the starting rune of the Reformation. While you gather the remaining seal pieces, I have to move it back to the interconnection starting rune. I'm lucky that my research indicated which rune this was. Otherwise, I might not know how to bring it about.
Zartz walks over the focus, scans the surface of the floor, and prepares to move the floating frame to another room. Suddenly, Sangdrax's head bursts from the curtain of flame. He's reverted to his original form, that of a fire-breathing dragon, completely impervious to the effects of the storm swirling around him. He looses a tongue of fire at Zar's chest. The blast leaves nothing but a blackened hole, and Zar slumps to the ground, dead. Well, at least he doesn't get guy for like 5 seconds.
Now it's your turn, patron. Unless you decide to be more cooperative than your master.
Well, let's go ahead and save. And there's kind of semi-multiple.
Do it now,
Buddy,
patron. Put the Nexus seal piece in the focus and have done with it. If you feel any reluctance, look at your lord. He was more powerful, more intelligent, more cunning than you will ever be. And he is dead. You cannot do better than he. You cannot defend against me.
I command the magic you cannot comprehend. If you attack me, I will change to a form that is impervious to it. Resign yourself, Pig. Do as I ask. And by the way, Zara wasn't very talkative.
I've lost patience with you, patron. I might have spared your petty little life had you done as I asked. But it's too late. You've sealed your doom. Goodbye, fool.
Oh no, let's try it. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and restore. So he said just put the Nexus seal piece in and be done with it? Okay. Let's just see what happens when we do that.
Do it now, patron. Put the Nexus seal piece in the focus and have done with it. If you feel any reluctance, look at your lord. He was more powerful. I command a magic you. I've lost patience.
Okay, actually, we have to start negating his resistances. So, fire-breathing dragon? What happens when we put water in? watches you approach his fire. Familiar now with the end result, he decides to stop you. The dragon rears back and prepares to blast you with a torrent of fire. You leap forward and press the seal piece into the indentation. It crackles and it fixes itself with its fire. The fire storm surrounding the protective circle is replaced by a deluge of water. The dragon chokes back his attack with a comic curl and disappears behind the sheets of rain. So, Zar said he knew how to get it, which room the interconnection. We do have the history of the Sundering book, but the only problem is a bunch of those pages were kind of informed, and now he's dead. So here's the deal: do we use resurrection to bring him back, or do we try to figure it out on our own? That wasn't me, by the way. Let's try to figure it out on our own. Focus looks at a hexagonal, I cannot say the hex thing, floating frame, slightly larger than one. Somewhere in the driving rain, you hear the pop and sizzle of the St. Drax's fire being out. We also hear a pushing popping sound that usually accompanies one of those shapes. Well, let's go ahead. What's We don't know yet what that is, but you see St. Drax now deep in the rain. He's charted the fire-breathing dragon horn for something that's called sea slug, and inverted it to the Latin worm starts to slide towards the perspective circle and you. Oh dear, that does not look good. The worm sloshes over the circular platform, I guess. It barrels over you and covers you with an acidic slime. This burns through your skin, but before killing you, the slug absorbs your body through its outer membrane into its stomach. It keeps you alive a good long time. Okay. Instead of doing that, what does the air do? Press the steel piece into this fire. Leaves the water trickle away when the burn flows by the open. This doesn't seem to affect the insect swarm form though. And okay, well then I guess we're doing stone. St. Drax in the form of this giant flattened worm crawls effortlessly through those sheets of water. Despite its slow speed, it will be on you. You press the steel piece into their spot. It crackles and it fixes itself inside the indentation. The water starts to fall and keeps through rocks and boulders. You smash into the worm and stop it in its tracks. Soon you lose sight of it behind the curtain falling and cracking rocks. Well, so we got that going on. Hear an almost rhythmic bumping and squishing of stone and earth striking the sickeningly soft body of the sea slug. Then it stops. Those falling stones striking the ground as if the worm suddenly disappeared. We know what's about to happen. So let's go ahead and use resurrection. You cast an intricate spell over the still warm corpse of your lord. You sense a rushing of air, and suddenly you see Zar's spirit pulled into his body like water down the drain. His eyelids flutter open, and he stares directly at you. Though he appears to be aware there is no life in his eyes, and his face is without expression. Here into the curtain of falling earth, you see smoky tendrils weaving their way in and out of the stone projectiles. Even when one manages to strike the first form, it only dissipates for a moment, and then a ghost-like dragon reforms. A pair of glowing red eyes are constant. They float slowly through the earth storm towards the bigger circle where you stand. Just give us just a second, Dragon Circle.
The heart, the heart, the heart.
Zar keeps repeating the same phrase over and over. Maybe it has something to do with the huge hole in his chest. The ghost dragon floats into the circle and envelops you. Suddenly, the air becomes impossible to breathe. It's like trying to inhale a pile of gravel. You collapse to the ground, coughing out your remaining breath, while Well, let's not do that. Let's instead just do that. The rocks and boulders fall straight through his paper slowly, ominously. The rocks stop falling, but gale winds rage outside the protective circle. It feels as if you're standing in the eye of a tornado. The ghost dragon is caught in the wind. The wind scatters his smoky form until it vanishes. Alright, let's go ahead and pop this sucker in and see what happens. These things, next to a piece of red fire pours down the brain. Fire spreads the platform and ignites the fortunate such a dance.
You came around, my pets. Maybe I'll keep you alive in the chaos that's sure to follow. Until I need you, I think I'll leave you here in the vortex. I've got quite a bit to do.
Sanctuary slices away, leaving his friend in that world, the corpses are. This has not been a good thing. So let's, with all that said, this was a possibility. Let's go back a couple of moments before resurrection happens, because we don't want someone to die because of what we decided to do. So let's go ahead and pop these suckers in. We got water. Let's go ahead and then we'll put that in. And then Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, what about now? Can you hear me a little bit better now? Sorry. So I think it's either Orsif, Tyler, or Wayleth, because it's that one conversation that you have with him where he says, this is the eye, this is the hand, this is the mind, whatever. But I can't remember which was which. So let's start with Orsif. But of course, we're dead right now. Yeah, as Singdrax inhales deeply and launches a fiery attack against which you are defenseless. The flames engulf you, but they hurt for only a second at least. At least this is the least painfully dragged out death. So let's go ahead and restore. And okay, so I'll at least have a little bit of volume here. So first things first, put the water in. And then let's move the focus, I think, here. Let's try here first. All right, and then oh, whoops. I got the order mixed up. All right, so it's earth, then air. And then, is this the correct spell? All right, you slam the Nexus seal piece into the focus. A column of red fire pours down onto the rune-paved ground. The fire almost immediately washes away. Apparently it was not a valid starting rune for a spell. Okay. Alright, let's try this one more time. Okay. So we know that's not it. Oh, I think I had to move it one more up. Okay, so one kind of hook up, or one space to the left of where I currently have it, or kind of one space and then up from where I have it right now. Okay, so let's move it to the upper hook. That one right here. And let's see if this works. That 160 means that was the correct one.
You're all out of seal pieces, patron.
I've got one more, dragon.
When you drop the Nexus seal piece into the focus and ignite the interconnection spell, magic flows through the runes of the island and connects the elemental spires. Sangdrax, unwisely attempting to break through the magic field in order to stop you, confronts the brunt of its power. It proves to be too much, even for the incarnation of evil, and the explosion hurls him into the swirling vortex, hopefully never to be seen again. You've connected the 5 realms. Perhaps now the worlds can function as planned, and their inhabitants can not only survive, but flourish. Yet you ponder one particular unrealized goal of your Lord, namely the release of your people from the Labyrinth. With time, and the aid of the Sartan, you may be able to see this dream fulfilled, but that must wait for another day. You've completed Deathgate. You've saved the realms from a fate worse than death. And while doing all of this, you scored 1,500 out of 1,500 points. Congratulations.
Perfect score for a near perfect game, in my opinion anyways. Um, I s- just I just love the story. I like that the puzzles aren't too tough. Like, I mean, it is kind of just like almost like a talk about walking sim in puzzle form, which again I like because I'm not good at puzzles. It gives just kind of that right difficulty of like some of them were pretty challenging, some of them required a little bit of thinking, but a lot of them were kind of logical stuff. People might say too easy. I will never say a puzzle game is too easy though. But again, yeah, it's just I feel a solid adaptation of the Deathgate series. Definitely a different version. Like it's quite a different story if you actually do read the books, which are on Kindle. I'm 90% sure of that. I should have checked before the stream. Actually, while the credits are going, I'll let you listen to the end music, and I'm going to double check real quick. Well, anyways, that was the actual end, anyways. So, of course, my old computer has a silly thing happen to it. Silly old game laptop thing. Anyways, I again hope everyone had fun. I really, I know this is kind of a shorter stream, but we're actually probably going to be leaving to go home soon to get ready for tomorrow's early appointment to meet up with some electricians to get more of this stuff fixed up and ready to be open for you all sooner than later, hopefully. So yeah, let me know. Gilded Dungeoneering, Shadowrun, or if there's another game that you really think I need to play, definitely let me know. The only kind of qualifier is that I do have to already own it. And I was looking over the Shadowrun games and the Gilded Dungeoneering earlier, and Loom. Loom, I feel, is a little bit too similar to what we just did, so I kind of want to change the pace up a little bit. I think the Shadowrun game or Gilded Engineering would be pretty fun to watch. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to head off, do a little bit of work around the store, and see you tomorrow for Fun and Games with Jackbox tomorrow at 7 here on Twitch. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your kids. Maybe your kids are also your friends, and that's okay. Your kids should be your friends. Tell your pets, because our pets play games with us all the time. All the time. Although, you know, we're usually not on the same page about that, but anyways, y'all take care. Thank you again for watching the Deathgate Cycle video game. Again, you can find those. It's about $52 for the whole set of 7 books on Kindle, or you can go to your local library. They probably have them there. I want to always give shout outs to your local libraries. Once they open. I don't know if all libraries are open yet. I think they're playing it safe, which is much better than not. And the game, good luck. It's online somewhere. You'll have to find it by searching if you want it. Anyways, take care, y'all. Thank you so much. Good night, Bye-byes. Or bye-byesels, rather.